A Michigan fake elector who has been charged with 8 felony counts for her part in attempting to help Trump steal the 2020 election has admitted that she had received some help from former President Donald Trump's legal team in those efforts. Matic, who served as co-chair of the Michigan Republican Party from 2021 to 2023, admitted that during an interview back in 2020. Why is that relevant now? We'll get to that. According to a CNN report on December 16th, 2020, after the 2020 election, but before the January 6th riots, she sat down for an interview with local radio host Steve Gruber. Here's what she said. Quote, "I'm no constitutional attorney." That's pretty obvious. "I'm an elector for Donald Trump from the Michigan Republican Party. I, along with the other 15 electors, were guided by legal minds, attorneys for our president, some very incredible constitutional attorneys. I've never in my whole life appreciated legal minds and attorneys before." Oh boy. Again, she's talking about Donald Trump's legal team, which, by the way, Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, that are among those, the Kraken lawyer who got her information, so-called information, from someone who claims that they do time travel and speak to the wind.
Wind.
And is internally decapitated, apparently, and somehow yet still lives. That's where Sidney Powell got her information, so-called information, about election fraud in Dominion and Smartmatic. So, again, that's one of the lawyers that she is referring to. Oh, what great and wonderful, incredibly smart legal minds we're dealing with here. Right. I hear that, and I think,
You idiot.
Stupid. Yeah, it gets better. She says, "I can tell you that in the last few weeks, just some incredible minds. And from what I understand, you have the federal constitutional law, and then you have state statutes, and they're two different things. So what we did, along with 7 other states, really send in dueling electors, and that will be there before, a federal constitutional attorney, and it'll be there before Mike Pence and Congress make that decision." Now, I was just reading her quotes verbatim, in case you were wondering. Now, according to the KFiles' Andrew Kaczynski and M. Steck, she had parroted some of Trump's most controversial claims about voter fraud in the 2020 election, and eventually deleted a tweet spreading the unfounded conspiracy theory that Dominion voting systems had changed votes in the election. Again, going back to the aforementioned Sidney Powell and her famous
in Venezuela.
The Venezuela, the ghost of Hugo Chavez, changed the, and I have a witness. I have a witness here. She literally went back in time and watched it. Yeah, that's right. Through mind visions. Stupid. Okay. Now, back to the December 2020 interview. Matic cited the 1960 election in Hawaii, in which pro-Kennedy electors were also sent to the National Archives, an argument cited by Trump campaign attorneys in memos that outlined their fake elector plans. Okay, so now, that was in 2020, as I keep mentioning. Fast forward to now, where she's in a little bit of trouble, as I said, with the state of Michigan. And, well, when you ask her about that now, what happened, she's got a little bit of a fuzzy memory, you see, about the things that she said, about the legal minds that she had heaped so much praise upon. In fact, Matic recently claimed that her memory was vague about the circumstances that led up to the fake elector plot, explaining, quote, "A lot of that is still vague to me, and I don't have any email communications with any of these people."
Bullshit.
That's what I think about that. He then also decided to throw another person under the bus, Republican Party's previous state chairperson, Laura Cox, saying that Laura was our state party chair at the time. Somebody from her staff contacted all of us, asked to be at the Michigan Republican Party office at 2 p.m., in order to sign this fake elector, paperwork, forging the signatures, or forging this paperwork, this election paperwork, saying we are the true electors, even though they weren't. Now, Cox had said in a deposition with the House Select Committee that investigated January 6, 2021, she was asked by the Trump campaign to facilitate having the electors meet and sign some sort of document, which Cox said made her uncomfortable. Oh yeah, this document, kind of weird. So we came up with a document that we would have them have a ceremonial meeting, and one person would sign a document stating that if perhaps something were to happen in the courts, they were willing and able to serve as electors for Michigan for Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Now, assuming her account is true, and I'm talking about Michonne Matic here, that she didn't correspond directly with Trump's lawyers, well, she still kind of admitted colluding with them in order to help steal the election for Trump in Michigan. Remember, it's not having the contact with the lawyers, which, by the way, also implicates Trump, because that's Trump's representation saying, oh, hey, by the way, we were coordinating with people in the state of Michigan, the fake electors here. Again, doesn't look good in their case, right? But it also doesn't look good for the people who are coordinating with Trump's team as well. That is, of course, also under indictment, many of them. So she went along with the plan, and assuming that she also doesn't remember the details, that also looks terrible. Because, again, this is a very detailed, very complex plan. You might want to remember the details of it. Again, I'm not sure how you could forget a plan to steal the election for Donald Trump. You think that would be kind of an important thing that you just don't really forget the details of. It seems rather convenient, okay? If her understanding of this plot was so incredibly vague that she didn't quite realize what she was doing, i.e. being so stupid and incompetent, not my words, that's her implication. Oh, I'm so stupid and incompetent that I don't really remember, or I really wasn't paying attention to the whole, plot to steal the election, which again, I don't buy her argument at all. Well, if that were the case, though, maybe she shouldn't have done it. I mean, I'm not going to go, maybe I'm speaking from personal experience here, well, not in trying to steal an election, but as far as if somebody comes up to me and lays out this plan of doing something, and if it's something that I want to do, if I don't understand the particulars of it, I would either ask questions, and if they're not going to answer my questions, then I'm not going to go along with it. It's okay, guys, I'm not really feeling all too comfortable with this. Are you sure this is a good plan? Are you sure, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Why don't you explain a little bit further? Apparently she didn't do that and just was okay, I'll sign right here. Fake elector. Again, ridiculous, right? I think her excuse is absolute bunk BS. All right?
Bullshit.
Not buying it. She knew what the overall goal was, in my opinion, and what she was supposed to do, which is, again, to be a fake elector. If Mike Pence didn't certify the election like Trump had wanted him to, then her role and the role of the other fake electors was to pretend to be the real electors and basically hand over Michigan's electoral votes to Trump, who didn't earn them because he didn't win the state. Again, that's a lie. Just, they're fake. He didn't earn those votes. It would have awarded him votes that he didn't earn. I don't know. I don't think you have to be a constitutional law attorney to realize that that is wrong. That is cheating, and that your role in this for signing up to be something that you're not, you're forging your signatures onto these documents that were also forged, that are not real, that are not official documents. That's a crime. And again, that's what her and the other 15 fake electors in Michigan have been charged with. So look, at the end of the day, she can sit and play dumb about this, but I mean, we already know that there's this conversation they had, and in it, she knew what she was doing, and she knew what the plan was. They knew what they were doing all along, and probably knew that it wasn't on the up and up, but chose to do it anyway.